Oh, hi. I don't know if my arm covered that. These gnats are just eating me alive again. There we go. Got him. Looked like there's about 3 or 4 feeding now. About right where they are. There he is. There we go. Okay, we got the pocket light going. That's that fish looks like. Beautiful fish. Nice pretty colors here. First fish of the morning, and that makes the day a success. Okay guys, so why am I in this ridiculous outfit? Well, for 2 reasons. First off, just got back from an awesome trout fishing adventure, so I had the glasses on. And second off, I looked at the calendar and I said, oh my, deer season is approaching. So I usually don't get on my pedestal or soapbox or whatever you want to call it and say this is what you need to be doing. And I'm not going to today. I'm going to just give you a couple tips. So I'm not going to tell you what to do, but these are the things that I'm doing that I find very helpful when getting ready for deer season, as it's only 3 weeks away now. October 1st in Iowa is opening bow, and it's like the 8th or 9th of September. So stick around, and here's a couple tips. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go get your bow tuned up. And getting your bow tuned up takes a couple of things. The first thing is taking it to, like a bow shop, or, your local, or a real, I can't think of the word, like a big box shop. That's where I took mine. They tuned it up. I had a couple things wrong with it, which surprised me, but I've been shooting it a lot, so things do change from year to year. So go get your bow tuned up. The second part of getting your bow tuned up is making sure it shoots this well. That sounds really stupid, but when you stick one of these on there, things change again. So sometimes your bow is tuned up at the shop, and you stick one of these on it, and now it flies a little different. So tune it up so that it flies and everything agrees with this. So that's huge. Just because your bow was tuned last year when you shot it and when you put it away does not mean that it's going to be tuned when you get it out this year. So that's super helpful. So get your bow tuned up and tune it to your broadheads. Once you get that done, then you're satisfied with the bow. Now what else should you be doing? Well, you should be making sure that you are okay as well. And what does that mean? Well, you got to be walking, you got to be watching what you eat, and you got to be working out. Because otherwise, what happens is you sit on the couch doing too much of this. I don't have my TV remote, but you're exercising your thumb. And when your deer of a lifetime comes around, and I don't have my bow on me right now, so we're going to have to deal with infantomime. You try and bring up on that buck, you're doing this because you can't get your bow back because you haven't been drawing it enough. So, you should be practicing. You should be shooting quite a bit. And when you're not shooting, you should be working out. You should be working on the muscles that you use to draw your bow back. So what is that? That's your shoulders and your back muscles. Everyone likes to draw with their biceps, and they do one of these where they bring their arm around and then they engage the shoulders back here. That's really uncomfortable. What you need to do is you need to bring it up, right? You need to bring those big shoulder muscles together, and that's going to be way more consistent than trying to use your biceps. Your biceps are actually your smallest muscle group when talking about bows, comparative to your back and your shoulder muscles. So work out on those and build that up too. The third thing that you should try and do, speaking of being strong with your bow, you should try it out with either your winter clothing on or your cold weather clothing on, and you need to do one of these. So demonstration is you get your bow out, you make sure I'm in frame. That should get me close. Sorry, my house is a mess. I just got back from the trip. So what they do is make sure you're pointing the bow down at the ground but in a safe direction, and then push straight down and bring it back to full draw. If you can't do that with ease, then you need to turn your poundage down. Giving up a couple pounds and a couple feet per second is way better than not being able to draw your bow back on that deer of a lifetime. So those are a couple things that you should be doing. And on that note of working out, strengthen those shoulders and that chest and back up. So I'll show you a couple things that I'm doing just for shits and giggles. What you want to do is basically your standard push-up. You want to get to about 20 of these for reasons unknown. Actually, not reasons unknown. You're strengthening your chest, especially your outside, I'm not in frame, especially your outside pec, this one out here. And when you draw out here, you're involving a lot of that motion. Here, let me do that a little cleaner. Right, so when you draw, you increase a lot of this shoulder and pec region. So you come back, you push out on this one, and you pull back on this one. So you involve both of those. And that push-up, you can feel both of them tighten up at the same time. So you're strengthening both of them at the same time. Very important in that. So you want to do about 20 of these, or be able to do about 20 of these, because when your heart gets pumping, when you're cold, you don't realize how much you actually fatigue. So I do that. I'll do 4 or 5 here for you. Come down, all the way up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I forgot how to count there. But anyways, I'm pretty sure that was 5. But come all the way down, you'll feel that outer muscle tighten up, and then you come back up. That's why they call it a push-up. Now, I gotta learn how to get in frame here with you guys. Another one that's really good is these things called like archer push-ups. You're doing basically an assisted one-handed push-up. So you're out here like this, and this is gonna increase your stability. So you're out here like this, you do one push-up here, you come over, you do another push-up. This is just gonna increase your stability for when you're out there at draw, because as humans, we're designed to be very strong close into our bodies, but as we get further out, you lose strength. So when your left arm or right arm, depending on what you are, left or right-handed, is out here, you have a lot of opportunity to lose stability. So strengthening this whole section of your body out here when you're doing and providing stability is incredibly important. Apparently, doing these and talking is really difficult, so I'll show you a couple of them here quick, and we'll get on with our lives. So you get down, spread your arms way wide, you come over, you do a push-up, and you move over, and you do a push-up. You come over, you do a push-up, come over, you do a push-up. And as you can see, those work you quite heavily. But that's because you're working out at your extremes. You're not working close into your body like I mentioned before. I got one more exercise that I think is pretty helpful for you. And that is called the inclined push-up. So what I like to do is get up, and you do a push-up all the way down, come all the way back up. All the way down, back up. All the way down, back up. Anyways, what this one does for you is it really works your chest and your triceps. This muscle right here. This horse-shaped thingamajigger, it's your tricep. Really works the crap out of that. And that, when you tighten up your arm, when you've got your bow pinched, you can see that this muscle is really contracted. And once again, it helps provide that stability. So, these are 3 exercises that I try and do on a daily basis. And as you can tell, they do work you quite a bit, especially when you're trying to talk and inform people of what they're actually doing. Anyways, hopefully this wasn't on too much on the, this is what you need to be doing. These are things that I do that I find helpful, and I think everybody should be doing them. But I'm not going to tell you this is what you need to be doing, because you got to establish what you need to do to get ready for season. Everybody, take care and have a safe season, because you only get one shot at life, so you better make it a good one.